Freedom.
Talking Black Podcast.
Freedom over fame.
Talking Black Podcast.
Freedom over cycle stays the same.
Talking Black Podcast.
Welcome back. So the Talking Black Podcast is officially back. I almost forgot our name for a second. But we are back. We had we had to regroup, get our lives together, but we are back. But today, we had to kick the men off and really dig into the relationship aspect from, the modern women, millennials. And
I'm not a millennial.
You are.
I don't know which one I am.
I'm not a millennial.
I don't know.
We're not millennials.
But we are on the higher, so the younger
on the
millennials
cusp.
are ghetto. Like the younger millennials are ghetto.
Younger ones are
They are ghetto. They don't represent us. But
And I be like, is it like Gen X? Am I?
Like, we're Gen
No.
Y. We'll just
So
go
I
with Gen
heard
Y.
there's like a zillennial, which is like the upper part of
That's us right there.
It's
Yeah,
those
we're-
of us
that's it.
who knows what tapes and record players are.
Yeah.
who
Right.
saw the evolution
Like
of
we-
iPads and
that
iPods.
part,
Yeah.
that part, we got it all.
We seen it all.
We got it all. But today, before I introduce the ladies, how y'all doing today? Y'all ready to get into it? Y'all ready
Let's
to
get into
Y'all
it.
ready to get
We
raw?
ready.
Okay.
We ready.
Y'all gonna be open. Y'all gonna be honest.
Y'all
Yes.
keep feeding.
I
me.
done told all my business already, so you know. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna get right into it. So today, the way I want y'all to introduce yourselves is we're gonna go around the room, and y'all going to tell me your names, and then you're gonna give me 3 words that explains your current relationship status. And as we go through the episode, we're gonna understand why you gave me those 3 words. So I'm gonna go first so y'all understand how it works. All right, so y'all know it's your girl, Jasmine. You can find me at I am Jasmine Gale on Instagram. And let's see. So I am in a relationship and it's new. So I'm gonna say it's happy, ghetto, and hard.
Okay. It's your girl, Court. Like through Court's eyes on IG. So I am divorced. So I will say that right now dating is trash. It's contaminated. And I'm over it. I know that's more than 3 words, but that's it.
So contaminated and over it.
There you go.
Okay. So, young lady,
I'm old.
what's your name though?
My name is Brittany. I'm at Mother of Randy on Instagram. Mother MUVA of RANDI on Instagram. And I am. Did we settle on the Entangled?
Yes, we did.
The Entangled. So
So it's just the entangled.
The
You missed-
entangled.
So you gonna give me a 3rd word, or you just gonna leave it at the
that's not even a
entangled?
word.
That's not even a
one
word.
of the
That's
words.
just her- that's
the
her
title.
status.
That's
Oh,
my
that's
status.
your status.
She's
What's my
entangled.
status?
You're entangled.
So I'm gonna say evolving. I'm gonna say patient, and I'm gonna say heart wrenching.
Okay.
I like
All right,
damn.
young lady.
Okay, so I'm Janice, and you're not gonna find me on
No
IG.
IG.
No, that's
No
fine.
IG
That's
Janice. No IG
No,
Janice.
no
You're not
IG
gonna find me
Janice.
there.
We good.
So I am married, and my 3 words are committed,
Amen.
honest, and real.
Okay. Come on, lady.
Come
on, lady.
Inspired too.
Because hello, aspire. So since you are the only married woman on our panel, how long have you been married?
16 years.
Baby.
To the same
A couple
man.
of days ago, actually.
To
To the
To the same man. All 16 years.
I be worried about liking the same man for
For
16
16
weeks. 16 minutes. 16 days.
I mean, shaky. It ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
But it's been 16 years. It's been cool. Yeah.
And I've been in it, I'm going to say 12 of the 16. I feel like I've known y'all.
13.
Okay, 13 of the 16.
Yep.
Amen.
Yeah, and I've seen you guys,
Ups and the
ups and
downs.
downs, but y'all work it out.
Yep.
So we gonna get into it. So for my single ladies, and I'll throw myself into it because, like I said, I'm new to this relationship game. But what I want to ask you guys, at least Britt and Court, is dating now in your 30s different than when you were in your 20s?
Absolutely.
So, because you made a face, I'm going to turn it over to you first. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's way different. It should be different. If you are a person who wants to evolve and get better in life, your standards change. Your
Facts.
expectations change. But when I say that, I don't want you guys to think that it's like all for the positive, because your expectations can fucking lower. You feel me? Where you're not as heavily weighing on the things in your 20s that you know, would on your 30s and vice versa. You know, when I'm in my 20s, that nigga better be fine. You feel me? That nigga better be doing da-da-da. Now, as I'm getting older, do you file taxes regularly? Do you have a W-2?
Do you take care of your
1099? Do you
kids?
take care of your children? Do you have health insurance, life insurance? There are things that matter.
Dental.
Are you healed?
Not dental.
Really? But
Teeth.
like the stock that you come from, like
Yeah.
everybody doesn't come from good stock. You feel me? But what are you doing about that? Does that end with you? And I want to see that shit, because
Yeah.
that's what I'm built from. So yeah, it's way different in your 30s. I'm not dealing with a lot of bullshit in my 30s.
And so what do you have to add to that, Court?
I mean, yeah, that's it. Like, I guess me coming from a different standpoint of being divorced and trying to get back into it.
Yeah.
It's way different. It's so much stuff that I tolerated in my 20s that if you even breathe wrong now, I'm
Not
out
breathe.
the door. You
Just
breathe. Don't huff and puff. Oh, I gotta go. Bye.
I don't be liking the way niggas chew sometimes.
Not a chew. The chew can get me. So what I'll add to that, because I do agree. I feel like when I was in my 20s, I was kind of like, and the crazy part is my whole 20s, I was in a relationship, but I would low-key was like in the streets at the same time. So I was like in a relationship, but in the streets. Yeah, I was in a relationship before the streets at the same time. But it was all like, oh, I love him, but I hate him, and I'm going to go to the streets. But then I realized it's like, it can't just solely be, oh, I love him. It has to be, do you file your taxes? Do you take care of kids? Like, it has to be some type of foundation of a man, and not like, oh, is he fine? Is his ass, it's a more to it now.
That's why it's very interesting that she's been married for 16 years.
16.
You don't look no older than me. You feel me?
She not. She's actually my age.
21.
See what I'm saying? So I was engaged at like 21, 22 or something like that.
Same.
And I could have gotten married. I was like well on my way to doing that. But I would have been getting married. Like, yeah, he did well for himself financially and stuff, but there were many other issues. But there's no way that what I think marriage should be now, I would have made that decision at 22 years old. That's why it's like to have been married. So I could have been married for 16 years. You feel me? So I couldn't imagine being with the same person at that mind state now. How do you grow together like that?
And that's a great question, because if you were married at 21 and now you're
not
shit,
that
we
same
push
person,
we pushing 40. So how has that evolved? You as a person, how has that been trying to navigate you as a person, but also trying to grow with your husband?
It's hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's really hard, and for quite a bit of time, I lost myself.
I remember us talking.
I didn't know who I was or who I
know
wanted
where
to be.
I feel you.
I remember
on that.
us talking about that, and that was gut wrenching when you came to me and you was like, "Look, this is what I'm going through,
Right.
and I'm trying to figure it out." Like that,
Because I lost my identity, so I had
to remind you.
You did.
You're Janice first,
right,
then you are a wife,
and then mommy.
then you are a mother. And I think that's where a lot of women get lost. It's like, you can't forget your Janice first. He married Janice.
Right. But see, when we got married, we had already had a 1-year-old. Then right after we got married, I got pregnant, and so 22, I had another kid, and 24, I had my third. So at 24 years old, I'm newly married and have 3 kids.
And I was in the streets.
And trying to finish school.
Right.
Trying to hold down a full-time
Right.
job. Just bought a house. Like, I had a whole lot going on, so I didn't know what to do, who to be, how to navigate my life.
Amen.
And so I kind of just got sucked up into being wife and mommy and forgot to be me.
Yes.
And that conversation that we had,
I remember.
it was
It was truthful.
it was truthful, it was painful.
It was raw.
It was, but it helped me to remember
You're Janice
that
first.
I'm Janice first,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not just wife, mommy. I had to figure out what I like, what I don't like. I had to be honest with myself before I could be honest with anybody else. And once I learned to be honest with who I was, what I liked, what I didn't like, what I would accept, what I wouldn't accept, then things started to kind of fall into place. And, you know, I've realized what I wanted out of my life.
And I'm gonna say this, like, I was kind of honored that you even talked to me about it because I'm like, I'm not even married. Like, but I was able to still give you that raw, honest truth to say, hey, and I know your husband. I think that's what helps because, you know, sometimes you may get advice from people that it comes from a very bitter place. But because I know your husband and I want the best for you first as my friend, and then I want the best for your marriage and then your kids. And my thing was like, hey, I had to remind you, you're a great wife. You're a great mother. But let's tap into Janice because you're neglecting her. Mm-hmm. You're doing great in these other two roles. You're doing great at your career because we worked together. That's how we met. But you're forgetting about Janice. Mm-hmm. And the crazy part is the first conversation that Janice and I had, we met at the bank. And she was like, you know, because like she said, by 24, she had 3 kids. She was married. I'm in the streets and in I'm in like a 5-year relationship. And she was like, oh, so y'all not married yet? Y'all don't got no kids? No. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, I know he has dreams to move to whatever state. And I have goals to finish my degree. We traveling every month. Like we living it big. And I'm going to college. So my thing was, no, I'm going to finish college. And then if he wants me to move to this state with him, he got to put a ring on it. So she was like, oh, y'all not married. But I had to flip it on her. Like, yeah, you're married and you have kids. But I'm traveling. I'm getting my degree. I'm in a relationship. I'm still like out here trying to figure it out. And I think you have to realize it don't matter where you start. Every person's journey is different.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so you can't like live through someone else to say, oh, well, she's married already. Because if I fell into the trap of, well, damn, she is married already and has these kids. What am I doing with my life? But that wasn't for me. I would have been a trash wife at the time because I'm still trying to navigate who is Jasmine. So I couldn't have been a great wife. Because I was still trying to figure out how to be a great me. So that wasn't by the word.
But you know what's interesting, I think, is that even though as a single woman, you still had the wherewithal to say, hey, Janice, don't forget about you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that that's something that I've never been married, you know, but that's something that in my 30s, almost 40 years old, I remember that. So, like, when my sisters and my sister-in-laws, they pregnant, like, that's my advice to them. As
don't forget
wives,
about you.
As you're about to have a baby. I remember sitting at the feet of one of my sister-in-laws. She was huge pregnant. And I'm massaging her feet, and I'm like, hey.
You just like massaging feet, don't you?
Listen, I like serving people. Somewhat. Because fuck y'all. But
oh damn!
Don't listen. First of all, don't listen to her because she's not. She says it, but she doesn't do it.
She loves us.
Exactly.
But that was my advice. Like, don't forget, because I know what being a mother looks like. I know I can imagine like my heart and how I am in a relationship, how overwhelming it becomes to make sure your person is okay. And then I made this person, let me make sure they're okay. And so I found myself in my entangled space.
I love it. I'm gonna see how many times you say that throughout the episode. So that's the second time.
Throw a counter up on there.
You're making sure your person is good. You're making sure the kid is good, and you're last on the list.
Yes.
You have to find ways to say, hey, no, define space for me. I can't be last because I'm running this whole goddamn train.
You
But you know
cannot
what?
give on an empty cup.
But that's,
I just had
that's
this
what
conversation.
black women do. Like,
Yeah,
we
do.
always bear the weight of the world on
Yeah.
our shoulders and try to make sure everybody else is good.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the
Forget
day,
about ourselves.
we're stuck trying to figure out what to do with ourselves. But, you know, everyone else is good going on about their business, and we can't sleep because
You running on empty.
Yeah.
You running on empty. And that's why I had to remind her, because I know the type of daughter she is. I know the type of sister she is. And I'm like, okay, I also know the type of wife you are, the mother you are. You forgetting about you.
Yeah.
Even if you gotta barricade the door and take a bath for like 30 minutes, you have to feel like, and then this is the conversation I had to have with my partner, is like, hey, I'm running on empty.
Hey, that's what I was about to say.
I'm running on empty, and I
Yeah.
can't fill your cup because my cup is not
Yeah.
full, and I have to figure out what I need to do to fill my cup. I can't. So let's get into it. I feel like, and as a person, not even just in a relationship, I think that even whether you're dating, you're married, or in a relationship, I think that a lot of the issues are sometimes we look to other people to fill our cups versus first recognizing, what do I need first from myself before I even ask the other person to supply a need. And I think we look to other people, especially our spouses, when we're dating somebody or we're married, we're looking to that person because that person's supposed to be our end all be all, and that's not true.
No, hell no.
We're supposed to fill our cups up first. And then whatever anybody else, whether it's you guys or my partner, that love is additional. Whatever they pour is additional. And I think that's the main thing I had to figure out in my relationship, is like, how do I fill my cup up first?
I think, but that's the difference in dating later or preparing for
That's
marriage
true.
later, because you having to figure that out at 24, 25, 26 and still
Yeah.
be. I couldn't imagine having to do that at that age.
Because we're taught that that's selfish. To take care of yourself is selfish. You know, and that's something that I had to deprogram. You know, growing up, black church and everything it's all about everybody else. Serve this person, serve that person,
yeah.
right? But no, but you can't, like you said, you can't serve somebody else if you have nothing left to give. And I had to deprogram myself, like, wait a minute, it's okay for me to say no.
Absolutely.
It's okay for me to say not right now. I had to figure out boundaries,
Yes.
and then you
like
can
that
go
word.
ahead
The
and
B
go.
word. The B word.
You had to.
You know
No,
that's
not
my
the
word.
That's what I said. That's a word. That boundaries.
Yeah.
And for everybody, not
Yes,
just for
not
your
ju-
partner.
exactly.
For everybody.
Everybody
But
doesn't deserve the
everyone.
same
But it's
access to you.
It's good to have good people around you, though.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
feel me? It's good to have, even in the instance of being a wife, it's good to have a husband that says, hey, what have you done for you? Hey, are you okay?
I don't feel
What's
like
going
men
on?
do that, though.
Hey, if
They
you,
don't.
If sometimes
They do.
sometimes in my in my entangled space, I have had moments. I've had moments when he goes, you know, hey, are you all right? What's going on? What's in your head? You know, stuff like that.
Okay.
Just to check in. Hey, did you eat? While you making sure everybody.
Yeah.
So things like that is important or whatever, and having a mate, a helpmate. And that's the importance of not being with somebody just because they make you feel good. Fuck love and feelings and everything
Bruh.
else. I'm not gonna be
Yes.
with you. I'm not gonna marry you just because you make me feel warm
I
and
love
tingly
it.
inside.
Our engineer can't
Fuck
say anything.
that.
I love
I'm not doing that.
It's got to be more. You
It's
have to
gotta
bring
It has to be
more.
more.
than that.
Yes.
Way more.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm learning. There's a big difference from saying, oh, this is my boyfriend versus this is my partner. Because if I say this is a real partner I'm going through life with. Not just pretty to say I have a man. I don't want to just say I have a man to have a man. I want a real partner in life.
But you know,
Right.
the only women who think like that are independent women who can stand on their own 2 feet.
To say what?
To say that I have a partner. The women who like, oh, I gotta have a man, I gotta have a man, I gotta have a man.
Yeah.
They are dependent on a man to take care of them.
Right.
Their life force ends and begins with
With a
having a
man.
man.
I'm
But when
good.
you can stand on your own 2 feet, it's like I need somebody that's gonna meet me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Match my energy.
First of all, it's not even
Fix
so.
your face.
So that's no, he gonna have his face the whole show. Trust and believe he gonna have his face the whole show. So I love when you said match my energy. So when since you guys are dating, and even this is a good question for you being married, because are y'all matching the energy that you're giving? So you have to understand if you're in a space of saying, okay, I'm dating or I'm in this marriage and I'm gonna make it work. Are you matching and bringing to the table the same energy you're expecting from these men?
A lot of bitches don't. And I'm going to speak for the majority of bitches.
Okay.
Sorry.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit.
No, because let me tell you something. I'm an unbiased person.
You are.
I'm not going to be, women this, women that. No. A lot of these women ain't shit. And a lot of these women are requiring
Facts.
men to give them shit they can't even
They
give
can't
themselves.
give, period.
So when I
Amen and
speak
amen.
from the lens of an independent woman, I mean fully, I don't want you to give me shit I can't give myself, because
Yeah.
I'm not going to get used to a lifestyle and get hooked on that. And that's what I'm building my life on. No, fuck that. You're going to meet me. I'm going to meet you. And I still know how to submit. I still know how to be who I'm supposed to be. You feel me?
So I understand where you're coming from, but I don't completely agree with that, because at the end of the day, men want to be men, right? And you have to respect their role as a man. And sometimes men want to be able to give you things, you know, and you may not, you don't always match energies.
Right.
In my house.
Speak. That's what I want to hear.
We don't
Speak
always
on it.
match
Speak on
energy.
it.
Speak on it.
Speak on it.
There are things that he does for me that I wouldn't think to do for myself.
Okay, Fonzel.
And there are things for him that I do that he can't get from himself.
Okay.
You understand?
I get
So
that.
Get it.
and there's some days, you know, people say marriage is 50-50. No, it's not.
I agree.
No, it's
That
not.
I do agree.
I do
now,
agree.
my match energies is based on those women who just want men to just trick off on them.
Oh yeah,
Right.
no, we're not
That's-
doing that.
That's what,
That's
I'm
what-
saying.
yeah.
we're not
That's
doing
what
that.
I
Yeah.
don't respect.
Not at all.
Absolutely. Like, I know the value of a man, you know, and that nigga told me to be careful walking down the steps one day. Just because he's conscious to
And
make sure I'm
tapped in.
safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Be safe going to the store. I go to the store a million times. But it's just to know that that's that extra layer of protection
Right.
that I don't think about. So, yeah, I fully am open to that.
Yeah.
But see, I agree with that, because your husband is a real life partner for you, because he's bringing things and adding value to your life, and you're doing the same for him. So in that sense, I do understand it's not going to be a mass energy. It's actually going above and beyond, because in that sense, he's tapped in and he knows exactly who you are and what you need. And so sometimes you may not be tapped in to what you need, and he's right there to fill in the gaps, but that's a partner. It's not just I am dating, I'm just in this marriage to be in it, you know, in that sense. So
Right.
I do
So
understand.
you know me. It's Christmas time coming up.
Girl.
and Christmas
You
is
be-
life, right? Christmas is
I'm
everything
just
to
glad
me.
I don't sit across from you anymore. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just
I
gonna
haven't
say
started
that.
music yet, but
Because it's barely
coming.
Halloween.
It's coming.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm
I'm
oh,
all
Halloween
Christmas.
is done. Let me play my Christmas music as
November
loud as
1st
I
is
can.
all-
Because it ain't no
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving.
is just a medium. Like, we skipping over Thanksgiving.
She having me
We're
over
getting
her
to
house,
Christmas.
baking Christmas cookies and
Yes,
stuff.
putting
yeah,
up decorations.
you
I got
and
3
you
trees
That's
in
her.
my house.
That's her.
Girl, I don't put
She's
up my
her.
tree till a week before Christmas.
No.
I don't
If
even
that.
do a tree.
Nah, I had mine up early December.
But I say this because he knows that I get like really into Christmas, but I burn myself out.
You do.
And he's like, look, no, you're going to stop. We're not doing this. We're not going to do that. You're going to sit down, go take a nap because you're tired. And he knows that when I need that because I'll keep going.
Yeah.
But he pours into me and is like, no, look.
Oh, I love that word.
Go
He
take care of
pours
yourself.
into me.
There's a
'Cause
song,
that-
He Heals Me by India Ari.
Whew.
That's beautiful.
Oh, I love every Indian Ari song.
He pours into me.
He does though, and that's why I so
I
appreciate
did
him.
too. When she said he pours into me, do you know how many bitches is accepting raggedy shit?
I
And, he,
remember what Megan Thee Stallion says that her boyfriend makes her brain feel good.
and if I don't have it, I don't want it. That's the reason why I'm in my relationship now.
Shout out to Cohen
No,
College.
he's good. No, you had to say his name.
Don't do my friend like that.
Nah, I love that y'all keep me in check on it. Y'all like snatch my edges on a weekly basis.
All the time.
Actually, every woman on
All
this
the time.
couch has snatched my edges at one
What
point
you
in
not
time.
gonna do is
And ooh. So hold up, let's get into it because then that makes me want to ask you guys a question of: do you guys feel like y'all friends hold you accountable?
Yes.
Do your friends hold you accountable? And again, I'm gonna start with Brittany because she's making a stank face.
Why do you always have to
Because
start
you
with
the
me?
only one making a stank face. She said yes. And I know her answer.
Process.
You know,
Speak your truth, sis.
I end up in different type of situations.
Entangled friendships.
First of all, I've had one entanglement. That's the only one I'm ever claiming. But I end up in situations, and I think sometimes my friends get
Possessive.
not possessive, but they get like excited with the fuckery sometimes. So my friends don't always hold me accountable. They be wanting to hear the fuck shit. You feel me? They be wanting to know.
I'm 50-50.
They be wanting to know which nigga scandalous. Bitch, he said what? Ain't he married? Da 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 da. Like they do that because they know that niggas always they gonna shoot they shot at me. They gonna shoot they shot.
Don't you point at me.
No,
I dug into her shit the other day.
No, I wasn't saying that. I was saying Jazz got on me the other day because I was with your fucker. He was like, why you keep telling her to do that?
Because-
Don't tell her to do that.
Listen.
You be with certain fuckery.
Certain-
YOLO.
But she no.
And I'm like, no. She said YOLO. I said no.
I can't listen to Courtney because Courtney was telling me to take a nigga seriously. I should have never taken seriously.
And I'm
I was wrong.
Ooh, on the record.
But
on
listen,
the record.
this is the friend I am. As a single woman, like Courtney is a single woman, right? Do what the fuck you want to do. You
Right.
as a single woman, you play that single game how you see fit or whatever.
Amen.
Yeah, sometimes I might have to put. Maybe we don't want to do that, but sometimes I encourage the fuckery. You feel me? While she was married, though,
Right.
I was on her motherfucking ass.
Oh,
as
I know.
A friend.
I know.
You feel me? I was
Yeah.
on her. I was like super accountable as a single one. Like because the dating game got pee in it for real.
Yeah, it's
Pee,
contaminated.
It is
Contaminated.
It is
a dead
the
frog,
dating
an
game
old
is
lawn
contaminated.
chair,
But
swamp water.
But one thing, anytime any of my friends are in a serious relationship, my morals and my expectations of how I would live my life in that, absolutely, I'm holding you bitches accountable.
But
And I've done both
I'm
ways.
asking you
What?
if your friends hold you accountable.
My friends like to fuck shit.
So that's what I'm asking. And so the scenario was Brittany text both of us a question, say, hey, should I do this? This bitch to my left said YOLO,
said, yeah,
and
I
I'm
did.
like, no.
Jasmine was like, don't, Brittany.
I'm about to tell you why not. Because the man that was involved has a fiance. And so in my mind, I'm like, if a bitch on my nigga line, like if a girl is reaching out to my nigga, right? He got some type of situation with her. And her friends are saying, yes, sis. No, sis. Because if I said
It was a bad day. It was a bad day.
Because if I find out,
It was a
sis,
bad day.
you deserve to catch hands. You deserve to catch
But
whatever
why you
I
pulling
do
up
for
on
your
her?
Lord.
But why you
What
pulling
I'm
up on
saying
her?
is, but what I'm saying is, you deserve whatever energy comes your way because you're sitting here knowing that this man is in a relationship and you're choosing violence. So
The man know he in a relationship too.
Exactly, and it's the man's responsibility in the relationship.
But it's not only
not the girl on the side.
Hold up.
Go ahead.
If a man is gonna be a man. I'm sorry at this point, right? A fuckboy gonna be a fuckboy. But if a bitch don't allow fuckboyness, how can they proceed? So if he gonna do, he gonna do what he gonna do.
A man,
But if she
a
don't
man
allow,
ain't gonna do that.
but what a boy,
A real man.
A man ain't gonna do that.
a boy,
A person.
whatever. Y'all want to gentrify this person?
Gentrify? Is it gentrification? Are we gentrifying?
I agree.
However y'all want to
agree.
title this person,
I
if
agree.
she he wasn't with the fuckboy shit, he couldn't have done it, is what I'm saying.
He would have found somebody else to do
and,
it.
But it ain't gonna be her. It's not gonna be her. So that's what I'm saying.
She
like,
out here living her single life. Let hers be her single life.
That ain't it. Because that karma's gonna come back to her. So now, if her man is and he finds a woman that's with the shit, that's her motherfucking
You
karma.
know what's crazy? I
That's her karma.
had a woman say to me one day, years ago, she put a hex on me.
Oh.
She did.
Oh.
In real life?
Yeah, no, because her, I didn't know this man was in a relationship with this woman, right? And had been dating him for a few months. And she didn't believe that I didn't know, right?
Oh.
So she was like, one day, a woman like you is going to come for your man, a man that you love, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
But they was only months.
but I didn't even know about it. But it's the thing about karma, though. It's the thing about karma. What you put out, you're going to get back.
You gonna get right back.
And that's one thing I know for sure. So, yeah, that accountability do be necessary. And we don't always do that.
In my defense, Brittany don't never listen to nothing I say. So when I said it, I knew she wasn't going to do it. Because anything I say, she doesn't.
She partially listened.
But
She
also,
doesn't listen to me.
She
but
partially
also,
listened.
She doesn't listen
But
to me,
also with me, it be bullshit because y'all know I don't be liking nobody for real. Anyway,
And I
it
get
takes
it.
a lot to even be in my orbit. So it can be, oh look at this shit. Look who's in my DMs. Look guys, and it don't amount to nothing.
And it was intriguing to have the conversation at first, but then I was the friend that had to hold you accountable because I know the type of woman you're evolving into, and I'm like, that ain't it for you no more. Like, let the shit go. So now, Courtney, I'm gonna ask you: do you feel like your friends hold you accountable?
Absolutely. Not now because I ain't doing shit, but before, absolutely.
Nah, definitely. I was like Brett when you was married. I was on your ass. But
Do
okay.
your friends hold you accountable, Jasmine?
All the time.
Snatch edges. I said that before the conversation
the
started.
time.
Y'all literally snatch my edges when I come to y'all. I'm over it.
What happened,
But
Jasmine?
y'all,
You see my neck? You see that? You see my neck, bro?
You done read me in court for fucking filth. So go ahead.
You
and
see
tell
my
me how
neck?
we-
Y'all see how my neck grew? That's how I be talking to her. What you not going to do is, no ma'am. No ma'am.
My nigga, I have literally been sitting watching her on podcasts
Oh,
and
Lord.
pause the TV like, you know you wrong for that, right?
Ooh.
You know this was written all over. Okay, and then months later, shit come to fruition. Exactly what I'm saying.
Fruish.
So
So, yeah, we be snatching them edges.
like I said, every woman on this couch and adding my mom into that has snatched
Add the mama.
has snatched my edges and pulled me together and held me accountable especially when it comes to my current relationship.
Amen and amen again.
The end. So Janice, do you feel like your friends hold you accountable, and especially in your marriage?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How do you feel about single women speaking or giving you advice as a married woman?
This single woman has given her many advice.
But how do you feel about that? Because
So-
I have a married friend. She's been married for years, and we talk about her marriage all the time. You know, when Court was married, we did the same thing. And I always felt like I would say all the time, hey, but I'm single as a dollar bill. I don't know shit.
Don't you? She be like, don't.
But
I-
you know
don't
what?
listen to me.
Don't
Good
listen to
advice
me.
can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
And I don't discredit just because you're not in the same type of relationship. You know, if you're not married, that don't matter. If you have advice, especially
Sound
if I
advice,
seek out
yeah.
advice,
Sound advice, yes.
I'm open to hear it. You know, I don't know what you've experienced in your life. You know, I don't know what you've seen. You know, like maybe your parents went through something. You can draw on that to share, you know, hey, I know somebody who went through this and this is how they did it. Why don't you try it a different way? Why don't you try this? I have no problem accepting advice from single
Because
people.
it's always like, oh, married people hang with married people and be careful, don't be around single people. And it's like, I don't think a single person can pull no shit out of you that ain't already in you.
Absolutely.
As a married person.
I was with y'all bitches 24/7 when I was married. Y'all was single.
So I get
But
that,
we
you know,
wanted the best
like-minded
for you.
people.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Right.
so-
And, like,
It's more so like, what are you looking for in life? If you single and out here living your best life and you for these streets, then I probably shouldn't be hanging out with you
Amen.
as much. But if
Amen.
you are, you know, single, dating, whatever, you know, or you hold me accountable and I hold you accountable, then I don't see a problem with being, you know, being friends, hanging out, going out, whatever like that.
Absolutely.
That's fine.
But you know, the caveat to that is, I will say that, like, say, I know the two friends that she's gonna mainly go to that are single, right? We both want the best for her. So you have to watch those friends that have that underlying tone of jealousy.
Yep.
So you can't go to that friend that you know has some kind of undertone or some type of jealousy, whether it's for you or your relationship. You gotta peep that.
But see, that's why I keep my circle small.
I know.
I got 3 people in my circle. Outside of my family, there
Yeah.
are 3 people in my circle. And that's it.
And you know we want the best for you and your marriage.
Exactly.
And we're not kind of like giving you advice from a bitter single woman place.
Yeah, you got to be careful even who you speak to.
Exactly.
And their moral compass.
But you know your
Because
friends.
You
Yeah.
absolutely
You know
know
your
your
friends.
friends. Because when I started seeing like you said, hold me accountable on some shit because you know who I want to be.
Yeah.
Because it's similar traits in other people, other women, other single women, other married women that I'm like, hey, I don't want to become that. I don't want that
Yeah.
around me. How
Right.
can you be this and you move like that? Like
Right.
that stuff starts to like scream at you the older you get because it looks stupid. It looks silly.
The biggest thing you said to me was, you can't give advice from the gutter. And so
I be fucking preaching.
help a Lord.
not help her Lord.
But you could though. You could.
No, you cannot.
No. If I
What
fell in
kind
the
of
gutter,
gutter are we talking about?
If I fell in the gutter,
What kind of gutter?
I can tell you how to get out of. I can tell you how not to get in this gutter with
Baby,
me.
what gutter I'm talking
There you
about?
go.
I can't
What
tell you how to
gutter?
get out of it,
What
but I can
gutter?
tell you what not to do to get
There's
in.
some people
What
who
gutter?
be in the gutter and they wear that shit. They wear the
Like a badge of
fragrance,
honor.
yeah, like a
Yes.
badge. They
Yeah,
just be
I'm not
in
hearing
it.
what you
There's
got to
no.
say.
That's what we talking
Nah.
about.
Nah.
There'll be people
That's
who
what
are
we're talking
in the
about.
gutter and prophesying like they are on the straight and narrow and know what their life is headed to, and you're going further down this goddamn sewer.
Right.
You're not getting no better.
No, because our engineer calls them the what is it? The Zodiac hose. They be Zodiac hose. And the horoscope hose. It's the horoscope hose to me that really be like.
What is it? Wait a minute. Please tell me what the horoscope
Are them the ones
was.
that be like,
So-
I can't date you because you're an Aquarius?
Yes.
Or Mercury
Or
is
the
in
moon, the
retrograde.
Mercury's in retrograde. Now,
No, don't do
That's
the
what I was about to say. The
retrograde.
retrograde be
The
real as
retrograde
shit.
is real.
How often is Mercury in retrograde?
Let
A
me
little more-
break
it's all-
it. Let me break it down.
Mars is about to be in retrograde. Just like I
Because
know.
there's a difference.
This bitch is like
No,
Saturn
no.
must be in retro.
Some shit, right? In the Gatorade. There's a difference in having an understanding of astrology.
Exactly.
There's a difference of having
throwing it
a
out there.
different type of spirituality. You're not a conformed Christian or a Buddhist or Muslim or whatever. There's a difference. And there's a difference of having the aesthetic. There's a difference of just saying the words and following the Instagram pages
Right,
and reading
right,
the books
right.
and thinking that you're so, spiritually in tune.
Yes.
And thinking that you're better than the next. That's not a thing.
That's the part. That's the
Those
women
are
I'm
the
talking
horoscope
about.
hoes.
Those are the horoscope hoes because
feel
it's
me?
like if you tapped in that much, why your life ain't better?
Woo.
Because that's what I'm.
If you got the cheat code,
Why your life
How
ain't
about
better? Why your life ain't better than
why
mine?
you ain't picking
mean,
the exact
fruit-
Leo that was born
On the sun rising,
rising
right, and
at
the
6:23
sunset.
p.m. You know
Bruh.
that's the man for you. You feel me?
Exactly. no, that's how I be
But like I
feeling.
said, it's the aesthetic of it, of who you trying to act like. You want to be a little Erykah Badu bitch. Erykah Badu is actually Erykah Badu though.
Period.
You feel me?
Right.
That's
and
different.
not one
Baby.
above or
You
below.
put it on like it's a costume. You
Yeah.
can have an interest in cars, and I'm not going to paint a thing on you. So you can be into astrology, and I'm not gonna paint a thing on you, but it's when you add all the other bullshit around it
Right.
that it's like you're trying to create and manufacture a vibe that you ain't really got.
That you
So,
ain't tapped into for real.
Right.
So that's the horoscope hoe for me.
Grand Rising Queen.
And
No,
you
thank
can't-
you. No, thank you. Because as soon as I see it, it's a no.
And those are the ones
It's a
that
no.
just know for me, like you can't talk to me about what's going on in my relationship because if you tapped in, why your life ain't better?
Yeah.
That's it.
But I think
Um,
there's a lot of humility that comes in giving advice. You gotta know, like I ain't got all the answers, and I might, but this is what I feel
For you.
for you,
Right.
you know,
For
because I
you.
care about you. You gotta know that people actually give a fuck about you to
Right.
give you advice. Don't just want to be nosy and want to hear.
Man, she about to give me chills. And I only say that because I was going through a tough time one day. I was having a very rough day, and she just ended up calling me. And I'm talking to her. And I'm like, I just gave her surface level, this is what's happening. Cause I've learned, and you can kind of stamp this when you're in, and I'm not dating to date. I'm in a serious relationship with the person that is my partner. This is my person. So it's different
Right.
for me. So I'm not about to talk to anybody just to talk to them because I don't need just random shelf level advice. So in my mind, like I'm keeping my business close to my vest a lot of times. If I'm not figuring the shit out for myself, I'm talking to a real counselor. I don't got time for the side bitch horoscope whole bullshit. I need real advice. So one day I'm talking to her. I swear it probably. And the funny part is I had prayed that morning. I'm like, I need a word because I'm struggling today, and I need to know this meant for me. This what you need me in. So she calls me, like again, I gave her surface level situation. If Jesus himself was above her house
Not Jesus himself.
and dropped the word, it was like she need to hear this today. But it's coming from, she's not in the same situation as me. But it's coming from a place of love. Like, hey, I know you. I know your partner. I know what you're trying to do for your life. I know what you want for your relationship. So yeah, I'm going to snatch your edges today. I'm going to give you the real.
Cause you ain't always right,
And I'm not always
and you
right.
ain't always. And Courtney knows that. I done had many a fight with her, cause she won't always right. And even though her marriage ended in divorce, but still, her ass won't always right. And I was gonna be the friend to say that to her, even when it didn't feel good.
Yeah.
Because that's how I want everybody to speak around me. That's why I respect the fuck out of Jasmine for saying, "Hey, bitch, stop! No, Brittany, don't do that." You feel me? Like,
Right.
cause you ain't gonna be able to tell me I'm a know-it-all. I do what the fuck I want to do when I want to do it, how I want to do it at every turn.
That's why I said she don't listen to me.
But then I'm like you. I have to check in and say, like, I don't just openly give the advice. Do you want to hear the truth today?
Right.
Because I'm going to tell you the truth one good time.
And it's up to you what you
And
want
it's
to do
up
with
to
it.
you because I'm not about to repeat myself. If you want to keep fucking with a fuck nigga, that's on you. But at least I told you once
Yep.
about what you need to do. After that, it's on you. It's your life at the end of the day.
Right.
So,
But we're not gonna keep running in circles.
but I'm not going to run in circles.
I'm
I'll
not
listen,
gonna deal
though.
with that. And
I'll
because
listen.
I'm absolutely gonna judge what the fuck you do in your personal life based on if that's where I'm going and if that's what I want attached to me when I get there. You know? So yeah, pull my coattails and get some of that extra bullshit off me sometimes. Cause, you know, I was treacherous in my 20s.
Girls.
It kind of went into my 30s a little bit.
So, not went into my 30s.
Oh.
So,
Ooh, 32,
because you
33
do
was
have
bad.
single, you do have single. I'm sorry.
Motherfucker.
Because you do have single friends who do come to you about certain things on any given day. What do you think is the biggest disconnect between black men and black women?
So, in my opinion, black women want to be independent, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with being a strong black independent woman. But there's a difference between being strong black independent and not needing a man versus being able to understand or recognize that sometimes you got to take a second seat. You can't always be the alpha. Men, in my opinion, were created to be alphas, right? So as a strong black man, you have to take your spot and lead. But as a woman, we have to be willing to submit and follow.
Agreed.
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 I do agree.
Agreed. However,
So, I'm about to.
But wait a minute. A man has to give you something to follow.
agreed.
Period.
Agreed.
That part.
So, what is the?
You want my however?
However,
I want your however first, and then tell me what you think is the biggest disconnect.
I think this is the biggest disconnect, is what I'm about to say.
Okay.
However, I think that us as a people have evolved over time. Women, if you look at the history of black people, how our men were stripped from us through slavery and all of that, how we had to be stronger, how we had to endure, we had to be tough as a motherfucker because our men were taken from us. So that created a divide in us, right? So unfortunately, guys, it groomed very strong, independent women. And no, we are not trying to take your place, but this is how life has grew us to be. You feel me? So I think that there needs to be a respect for how we have evolved. However, on the flip side for us, yes, bitches, we need to sit the fuck down sometimes. My hyper independence is a flaw.
Whew, hello.
I'm gonna say it again. My hyper independence is a flaw.
and amen again.
But at 36 years old, though,
I have
at
to
36
agree.
years old, I think that's another piece of later dating or later marriage is that I'm so goddamn tired. I want to take this cape off.
Period.
Every fucking day.
I want to take this cape off. I don't want to have to be strong, but you guys have to be patient with us so that we can learn.
What you
I've
said they
had
have to be what?
Patient with us to learn.
Yeah.
Because I want to give it to you.
Yeah.
But I have gotten here on my own 2 feet by myself in the midst of adversity. Yes, black man, you have faced adversity also. But ours is different.
It is.
Because
Yeah.
we bear the children. We still have
It
to be
is.
nurturing in the midst of it. So yes, be patient with us while we learn. And also be the man that we need. And don't be intimidated by the strength that the evolution of our people has given us.
Where the collection plate?
Preach.
Because where is the collection plate?
That's all I'm saying. So yes, we do have to learn submission. We have to learn. But y'all ain't been in the houses for generations. Y'all ain't been in the homes for generations. We don't know how to be a woman to a man because Pop left and Daddy left. And our niggas, they just want bitches after bitches. And the city girls is raising everybody
city
else.
girl-
And they don't know how to be. So yes,
'Cause
when we
we're-
want to learn,
Let me
as an
say this
alpha,
prayer.
as an independent woman, as an alpha woman, as a woman who has gotten to where I am, and I ain't too high, but as I stood on my own for real, I want to take it off for a man.
Ooh.
But I want to feel safe in that
In
space.
doing that.
Because
In doing
if
so.
I got myself here and it was hard as fuck, there's no way I want to
let
put
you-
all of this in your hands and you may drop it.
Fuck it up.
And then I'm going back into my cocoon because it's like, damn, I knew I couldn't trust a nigga.
But that's why I said men have to give us something to follow.
Yeah.
We still need our safe space at home. We be out here in these streets hard.
Yeah.
At work, you got to put on, you got to show up. As a black person, you got to show up and you got to work twice as hard. But as a black woman, you got to work 3 times as hard.
Yes.
That don't nobody want to say that though.
It's even
That's a
But
fact.
and then so we got to work with corporate America if that's what you in. Then you got to go and be mommy. Then you got to do this. You got to do that. You got to run people to your sports
And
events
also
and your
our
cheerleading and this and that. And
damaged
it's so much stuff that we have to do. And then we don't want to go home and have to nourish a man.
we don't want to have
That's
but
someone else's job,
but
and
then-
baby, your mother failed.
and then we gotta fix that.
So
So we got a bunch
Oh,
of
I
motherless men, fatherless daughters, motherless men fatherless daughters trying to come together and learn how to recreate what this is supposed to be, because it ain't 1913, it ain't 1950, it ain't 1970, it ain't 1980. We in 2023, and we have to redefine what that looks like for us.
Facts.
It ain't what
Facts.
our families failed to have done. It's completely different. But our men, they just want, oh, you need to be in the kitchen and you got to clean them. You got to be submissive and you got to, because
what you doing?
Don't get me started on this Bible and telling us what the submission is supposed to look like based on what?
No, so in my house, there's a order, right? My husband does this, I do this, the children are responsible for X, Y, and Z, right? So there is an order of submission, but the gender roles are defined how we define them.
Yes.
Not
how
how
it should be.
society says there should be,
Yes.
right? But there's one thing I'm not doing is taking out the trash.
Oh
right?
yeah, I'm not taking on the
That's
trash.
a man's
I
job.
don't want to do it.
But
I don't
will
wanna get an
in there
oil
and
change
cook
for my
because
car
that's what I
either.
want to do. But I'm not the only person that's cooking in my house.
Yeah.
You gonna cook too.
Now your husband's a bomb cook. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Talk about it.
Your husband's a bomb cook.
No,
Her husband is a bomb
my-
cook, like for real.
I ain't gonna lie, my ex was the cook. He
Yes.
cooked.
No, your ex was,
cooked.
yeah, he was a
But,
bomb
but,
cook.
but
I
guess
had
what?
no problem
While
with
he's
that.
cooking, I'm cleaning behind him.
Yes.
Or while I'm cooking, he's cleaning
It's a
behind
team,
me.
and that's
It's a
what
team.
matters.
A partnership.
Exactly.
It's a
Exactly.
partnership. It's a partnership.
Oh, y'all.
Y'all gave me, come on, y'all. Come on,
on,
panel.
Now, panel.
Getting it.
Come on, panel. Okay,
I'm dead.
can you, okay, so you're next. Because we need to hear from you. And especially because you're in the dating scene, so I need to know, what is the biggest
I'm
disconnect
sad.
That you're saying.
that you're seeing?
Because you actually,
You're active.
actively dating.
You're actively dating. So what is the biggest disconnect?
It's so many.
No, it's so many.
She said you niggas are trash.
Y'all trash, some of y'all. There's some good ones out there, ladies. There's some good ones.
Send them to me. So, from what I have experienced, these men don't want to date. So I've had
You know why? Because it's 10-1 for them. So they
Yeah.
out here thriving.
gotta
work. Yeah.
They're thriving because they can give a bitch
Yeah.
a bag of Cheetos and some Skittles,
Yeah.
and she will be happy. Where you're requiring some steak and some mashed potatoes.
I mean, yeah, because they've got this man that just wants you to come over and lay up. I'm 37 years old. I'm not coming to lay nothing. I'm not laying up.
You 37?
Bitch.
Sorry.
Kick her off the show. Cause you about to be 37 next month. Anyways,
I am.
you are.
Next
Lay up. They get the good morning, good night text all day with no context in between.
Oh, I hate those. The GM beautiful.
And then nothing.
Hey, beautiful.
Nothing.
I'm not about to do the work for you, sir.
Hey, I realize I've had this man tell me, I want to get to know you. I want to get to the next level. I want, get closer to you. I want, and I'm like, well, you got to make yourself seen,
Right.
noticeable.
Do
you know?
something.
Do something. Send some flowers or something. Let me see you.
Yeah.
A couple hours later, he sent a gift of red roses on text message, just a picture.
He sent you a gift. No, I'm sorry. Pause. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Did you?
Y'all want me to be entangled forever. Y'all ain't even
So did you say?
Y'all ain't even trying.
Because I'm sorry, that's ghetto.
Wait.
He need. My thing is, you don't even got show with the flowers yet, but you gotta put a little effort instead of saying, "How are you doing?" I'm a big advocate, and I've learned this from a man. Instead of, "Oh, how are you doing today? I'm great. How are you?" No. What is the most interesting thing that has happened to you today? That way it sparks a whole different conversation. I don't want to know how you doing. What was the most interesting thing that happened to you today?
And that's why it's very
But what
fun
you
for me to
not
date.
gonna do is send me a gift
of flowers.
of flowers. Delete and on to the next. Or how about I tell you about yourself? How about I explain to you, I'm asking for you to put a little effort behind what you're doing because I'm putting effort in and I'm getting no effort. If you don't want to give effort, that's okay. You can go to someone else and I'll move on. End the discussion, but I'm not about to do that.
I'm not about to listen. I like how Lauren said. I'm deeper than the ocean. Like I'm deep as the earth's core. Like you have really got to stand out to me. You cannot. Good morning, GM.
Grand Rising
You
Queen.
cannot- You cannot flatter
None of
me
that. None
to
of
get
that.
my attention.
Girl.
You cannot
None of
call
that.
me beautiful, and I have mirrors.
'Cause
You
it's a
know, you can't do
given.
none of that for me. That's
Yeah.
not gonna do. Like, you have really got to spark something in me because I am deep. Don't surface me. My surface friendships don't last. I don't talk to surface family members. Like, you have got to hit some deep, because life is like that. You feel me?
Life is lifing.
And that is what I connect to. If you can't connect there with me, we can't do shit. And most of these niggas ain't got nothing on their mind. That's why I stay entangled.
Man, in this journey.
So I'm sorry, we cut you off.
Yeah, that's
we
fine.
went left.
It's okay.
but
But-
what is the biggest disconnect? Because like we both said, we know you're active.
I think the biggest disconnect for someone like me is the issue of being divorced, having children with someone else, and then a man coming in and I guess taking over that role of taking care of somebody else's kids, or me not. I was told I am not worthy of a high value man because I am divorced and have 3 kids. And
you talking about
nobody's
Kevin
gonna want-
Samuels, or you talking about a man that you're
someone
dating?
has told no one I was dating, but I was in a Facebook group, and I guess he was a Samuelite, and I was told that because I am divorced and I have 3 kids, that I am not worthy of a high value man, whatever a high value man is at this point, because I haven't found one yet. But that I'm not worthy of that because I'm damaged goods.
So I don't believe that to a certain degree, because I feel like any woman could really level up and get any man that she wants if she's willing to change certain things about herself. And what I mean by change certain things, I mean like, hey, if you know you want an NFL player, you not about to be sloppy poppy out
Absolutely.
here trying to get an NFL player. So
Absolutely.
then, yeah, you got to lose a little bit of weight. You got, make sure your hair and nails are done. You got to get a little more prettied up, because those are the type of women that they go for.
Yeah.
So it's certain things you're going to have to do if there's a certain man
Absolutely.
that you want.
I don't even want that kind of man, but
But I'm just giving an example. I'm just
yeah.
saying. So I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest disconnect for me, is like, I think there are, and I'm only going to speak from a woman's place because I cannot speak for a lot of fuckboys that's living out here. I can only speak from a woman's place because, like I said, I'm newly out of the dating relationship. And I think my biggest thing was, I'm coming to the table like, oh, I'm this, and this. What you doing? And it's like I was coming to this situation as if my shit didn't stink. But I'm realizing, like, nah, sis, you ain't got it all together either, but you expecting this man to come to the table, to come to it with all together, and that's not fair.
That don't change when you get married.
What you mean? What don't change?
That don't change.
What
Because-
don't change?
Because you still got to remember that you got stuff with you.
Yeah.
So even when you're married, like, I look at my husband and be like, damn, man, that really gets on my nerves. But wait a minute, what did I do to get on his nerves?
I get that.
I asked my
I get
married
that.
friend this week. She was complaining about her husband, and I said, "Are you the perfect partner?" And she
Right.
was like, "Well, I've had health issues and this, and that, and all that stuff that he's had to bear with her. That's like, you got to give each other grace."
Right.
And you know
Yes.
what's irritating? Feeling like you have an understanding of what marriage should be like and being single.
Bruh, because it burst my bubble. Like, seriously, I think before I got into a relationship that I can see it turning into marriage, in my mind, a marriage looked like Cinderella, some prince coming and rescuing you and kissing you and waking you up, and the birds is
Not at
chirping,
all.
and and the sun is shining.
Prince Charming got
But
mommy
but
issues.
for real, the real Prince Charming is ghetto. I've had some Prince Charmings and they are very ghetto, and so I'm glad I have a very realistic partner.
Prince Charming have you looking at him side eye like the fuck?
Because Prince Charming is a real fuck boy at the end of the day.
Can I ask y'all a question?
I'm open.
I want everybody to answer this. Okay. Starting with the married woman. What is love to you? What has love looked like to
Oh,
you
that's
in your marriage?
ooh.
Oh,
That's
I'm
I
a
love.
pass.
No,
No,
you
you're
cannot
not.
pass. You've been
your
in
marriage,
love.
You've been in love. I want to hear everybody.
So that's a hell of a question.
That's
Because I answered this a little bit earlier. So
Today?
Today.
in your entanglement.
No, But speaking of it, though,
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
It's raw, brutal honesty. It's accepting your person for who they are, for who they're not, for who they're not going to be, for who they are going to be. Not for who they used to be. But for in this moment, right now, who are you?
Growing every different year.
Right.
Okay.
And remembering, like, I have to remind myself sometimes things that I fell in love with my husband about, right? So he has, like, his sense of humor is...
It's different.
It is.
Her
It's-
husband's sense of humor is different,
it's
and he's
dark.
a real asshole. If you think, like, if you taking him real face value,
You
like,
can.
this man is an asshole. But he's the best debater ever, and he opens you, like, you would love him. He opens your mind to, like,
Yes. He
why
always
is
say-
that the way it is?
If you say something is square, he's going to find a reason why it's not.
Yeah.
And he's going to debate you about it.
so that you like that about him.
I do. But then it gets irritating. And then I'll be turned off like, come on, do we really have to do
But
this?
you know why? You know why? Because I know them best, both sides. You know why it's irritating her? Because she comes from the mom and dad are still married.
Almost 40 years. 40 years this year.
40 years her parents have been married.
My grandparents were married for 50 plus years.
So you have a foundation of
Right.
marriage. She's come from a middle-aged home. They well-to-do black parents. So she's sheltered in a sense. Her husband was not sheltered. He had a very different life. So it's bursting her bubble of, oh, the world
See, I
is
grew up
so
on the Cosby
perfect.
Show,
Yeah.
right?
The world is so perfect. The world is not ghetto. The world is very ghetto.
What?
Let me
She
burst
think it's
your
black and
bubble.
white.
What?
Exactly.
He showed your ass them 50 Shades of Grey.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's like it can be irritating and mind opening at the same time. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
But then I gotta remember, like, I really love this about him. And let me get out of my feelings right quick, because if I jump in my feelings and stay there, then it's not gonna be good at home. So let me jump out of my feelings. Let me remember this is who he is and this is who I love. And I love him for this same reason that I'm getting mad at.
Ooh.
So let me not do that. It's hard. It's looking myself in the mirror and saying,
What we say to okay.
I don't
She said it.
I like this. I don't like this. And it's conveying that to him. And it's saying, like, no, you know what? I don't want to go out to eat tonight. I want to stay home. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't think that's a good idea. You know what? That is a great idea. It's being honest with myself. It's being honest with him. Because it's not fair to him if I'm not honest. And I can't say I love somebody if I'm not being honest with them.
That's a fact. That's
Jasmine,
what happened.
we're
We're not passing you. You have to answer the question.
You want it.
You do want love.
No more.
Yes, you do.
So what do you want?
It's been
Oh,
hard,
no,
but
we're
you
not doing
want
that.
it.
Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead, Jay.
So I'm gonna say this. What I thought was love, whew, baby, ain't love. But what I'll say, what is love today? What does love feel like today? It is raw. It is vulnerable. It is honest. It is hard. But it's rewarding.
Oh my God.
Oh, it can definitely be hard and rewarding. Okay. But yeah, I think the biggest lesson in love is it has to be vulnerable. If it's real, it has to be vulnerable. Yeah. Don't let us punch you in the throat.
Pass me.
Nah, you got to give it
Don't
up.
let us punch you in the throat.
Why?
What is love?
Fuck love.
And you only saying it because
So why are you
you
dating?
in it's ghetto. But
I don't have to date for love.
So what are you dating?
what are you
for?
dating for then?
I miss companionship. I don't necessarily. I'm not looking for love right now. I miss hanging out, going out, chilling with someone. I don't necessarily need to be in love or find love at this particular moment. That's not for me right now.
So what do you feel like love is, though? Because you were married and you were in love.
I wasn't.
And you can get it back. So what do you feel like?
I feel like
love
love damaged me.
And it's okay to be a little jaded. It can jade you a little bit, but you have to heal and repair yourself from that. And I think that you have to have a realistic version of what you want. So once you have a realistic version of the type of man you want, then you can figure out, okay, if I know I want this type of man, what do I need to do to make sure my identity and who I am is going to adjust or level up to the type of man I want?
I feel that.
You know,
So Brittany,
since we skipping Courtney,
Thank you.
I think that when I think about love, the first word I always think of is conviction, because I feel like love is. What you call that?
I don't know what that is. I mean, they taking out the trash or skateboarding.
That's a lot
Oh.
of skateboards.
Maybe it's the garage door. It might be the.
Maybe.
I don't want to talk to it.
I know. Oh, there we go.
But yeah, I think of conviction because I think that like real love puts a mirror to you. You're
does.
not allowed to hide behind the mask that you typically show the world. Raw is a good word. Intimate is a word that comes to mind too, but not sex. When I say intimate to people, they think of sex, and I don't
not
mean
the
sex.
same.
Intimacy is not
Intimacy
just
not
sex.
the
is
same.
not sex. Like, it's that vulnerability. It's that guard completely down. It's, thinking of that person before you think of yourself. Selflessness. You can't be selfish in love at all. Forgiveness. Very forgiving. Even when you don't want to be.
Well, even when it's gut wrenching.
Understanding, even when you don't want to be, like really knowing your person, like, and that's a completely different view of what I thought it was in my 20s. He make my heart skip
I
a beat.
love him.
He make me feel da da da. Man, the love that I felt the strongest has cut deep. You feel me? Because it has birthed a new person for real. It's groomed me in some kind of way. It doesn't let me stay the same. I think that
I don't think it should make you stay the same if it's real love.
Right.
Because what I've noticed, and I think what both of you ladies have said is real love holds a mirror to you.
Yeah.
And so when I think about the guys that I have dated in comparison to what the person that I'm dating now, this person holds a mirror to me.
Right.
But the difference is he holds a mirror to me, but he holds my hand at the same time. Yeah. He doesn't hold a mirror to me and judge me for what I'm seeing or what he's seeing. It's like, hey.
Know that I'm healing.
Yeah.
Know that I'm evolving. Know that I'm growing and want to be there with me. See the beauty in that. You feel me? Like, I think that's super important.
It is beautiful in a sense, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, because like you said, my husband pours into me. So if the person's not holding a mirror and pouring into you, what y'all doing out here?
Right.
What are we doing? Not in the dating phase, because you have to get to that point. But yeah, what am I
it's
doing?
hard to find that out here.
You can find it, but you can find. So you can find it, but what you have to release is it may not come in the package that you thought it was gonna come in.
Right.
And if you release that, if you let it go and you let your friend snatch your edges and it forces you to continue to openly date this person, you may meet a marvelous person. Because I almost got in my own way. And I only say that I definitely almost got in my own way. Because I'm like, well, this person's not doing this and they're not this and they're not that. And each one of y'all was like,
Have a seat.
A certain
what are
type
you
of
what are you
love-
talking about? Like, he sounds like
That's
he
a-
sounds like,
a
he's
certain type of man, a certain type of love will make you reevaluate who you thought you were.
Right.
Like,
what happened? What you say? Say it again.
it will make you reevaluate who you thought you were.
Right. She right.
Because I've had a lot of men look at me, but but not see me. So
'Cause it's
if-
infatuation.
It's infatuation.
It's not
so
love.
you're not
It's-
holding
yeah.
me accountable to anything. I need an accountable love that'll say, hey, Britt, you cute, you beautiful, your ass fat, but you ain't shit in this area, that area. You need to fix this. That's ugly. You need to stop accepting this. You need to grow in this area. And it ain't too many loves. That's why I'm entangled, y'all.
But you know what? It's not just enough for them to say, you know, you this, you that, you need to improve this, and here, let's do this. We have to be responsible enough and mature enough to receive what they're saying and fix it.
Yeah, that's a hyper independence and not.
But as I'm about to say,
Baby, that
that's
trauma,
because
that trauma.
I did go into my relationship being super hyper independent, right?
Yeah.
But I think what opened my eyes was the person or my person that said, hey, you're doing this as a hyper independent woman, because my mother raised me to be an independent woman. She's not married and she's never been married. So it was a situation where my mother came to me and was like, she actually apologized to me one day and was like, I didn't raise you to figure out raise you how to navigate your relationship. I raised you to be a black woman in the world and navigate the world. So I definitely would say that what made me, I gotta drink the champagne off the cup.
I'm good. Jasmine can finish that one though.
Yeah, I got her. I think for me it was like, hey, you know, you're doing this, and it's hurting me, and it forced me to open my eyes to say, oh, damn, I've exhibited this behavior all throughout my other relationships. And now I have to figure out why I'm doing what I'm doing, what it stems from, what's the root of why I'm doing this, and fix it.
Right.
But divine timing is everything, because I don't like a lot of where I'm evolving to now in the space I am now. Them old niggas didn't deserve her.
But me and you wouldn't have had to, but your friends might not even deserve you in a sense, because the conversations that I have with certain friends, 5 years ago, I wouldn't have understood it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even been able to absorb it or soak it in.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why it's like it was meant for you to get married when you got married. It was meant for you to get married and divorced when you did. You feel me? Because life happens as it should. You will get married when you're supposed to.
I believe that, and I receive that.
It's coming.
Amen.
What I will say is, it will happen when it's supposed to happen.
What color dress I'm wearing?
I'm throwing flowers.
Right.
You are not a flower
I'm the
girl.
flower
We talked
girl.
about this.
Let me do my thing.
Let me lose 20 more pounds.
Give me a head
You
start
might need to
first.
talk to him about when it's gonna happen so you can figure out your timeline. But anywho, now y'all made me lose my whole train of
She
thought.
said yes. He proposed.
Okay, so you just gonna sing Kelly Price? I can't stand y'all.
No, not y'all.
I can't stand y'all. I can't stand y'all.
Can't do it. She did it.
I'm gonna ask y'all this one final question because I know we've been rolling for a minute. Oh shit. Final question. So, what advice would y'all give? And I know we're all in different stages, but what advice would you give to single women or women that are dating? And I'm gonna start with our married woman. It's ghetto, so I know.
Tell me how to get a man, girl.
You got one.
Look, I told we have an understanding at home, right? That if something happens and you know his eye gets to wandering, right? That I owe you one, right?
You had that conversation. You ain't
We
telling
had
me
that conversation
Okay.
because
Okay.
because I don't want to be out here in these streets.
Girls ghetto.
It's raggedy.
It's ghetto.
raggedy.
So if
GH.
if he steps out, then I owe him one. I can step out. If he steps out, I'm stepping out.
Well, so y'all had that agreement.
We got that agreement.
The whole past
They're trying to
agreement.
because
No, she
I'm
don't need.
not,
They don't need to.
I'm not doing this dating stuff.
No,
right?
no.
So, but we have that, but it's like a joking thing because if he does that, then
You gotta see these hands.
it's not gonna be the same. We're not gonna have that joking
But
conversation.
y'all
Yeah.
not. But y'all
But-
not in the space to even. I can't see even one of y'all cheating. Though.
No.
Like I feel like it would take a lot.
It would.
Just knowing you guys.
No, we've been through too much together
Yeah.
to.
Y'all grown together.
We have.
Yeah.
We have. And we went through a really rough patch in our marriage in 2008. That was a really rough year for us. We had our stuff going on. His father died, and then his grandfather died. So it changed him. And I had to be sensitive. And I got pregnant with my youngest daughter at the same time.
Oh, child.
So all this is going on. His father died, his grandfather died. We're going through a really rough patch,
Yeah.
and now I'm pregnant. Make all that make sense. We had to really sit down and figure out if this is what we wanted. Like,
I'm married. Like your marriage.
yes.
Those
We had to
conversations
decide
happen.
do we want to stay married?
I'm not ready.
We had to make that decision, and we decided we were going to stay married. And it's I'm not gonna lie, like I said earlier, it's not been easy. It's been hard. Anybody who tells you marriage is easy is
no.
is lying. They lying.
Dating is. I mean,
They lying.
this relationship is hard.
But I say all that to say you
Yeah.
have to be ready to have really hard conversations with your partner, with your person. You have to have really hard conversations. You have to be open to hear whatever is on that person's mind. If they tell you that they don't like something about you, right? You have to, like I said earlier, you have to be mature enough to receive what they're saying. Evaluate why they're saying this. What am I doing? Why is it something that's irritating them? Did they like this at first and now they're switching it up on me?
Which can happen because you're talking about 16 years, and I feel like I hear married people say your person changes like every 5 years.
Yeah.
So you talking about a person changing within, you said 16 years. So your person has changed 3 times.
3.5 times.
So since y'all been together, so yeah, it may be something that he absolutely loved about you when you were 21, and now he's like,
Because guess what? If you're the same person that you were 16 years ago, you missing something.
oh, I don't
You're
want,
doing life wrong.
I don't want you.
You gotta grow.
I don't want you. I don't want you.
I don't want you.
But you got to be willing to grow. You've got to be willing to learn. I had to learn that I'm not always right. I had to learn to apologize.
What?
Girl.
So like, but so it's not. It goes beyond marriage. It's like in life, like my kids.
Yeah.
They have to see me say I was wrong. They have to see me say I'm sorry, because if they don't get that lesson at home, how they gonna learn that? And if I can't admit that I'm wrong, what is that doing to my husband?
Some praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
But nah, that's what was the question? That was real. I forgot the question because she brought me through it. Like, yes, thank you.
Thanks for paying
Thank
attention.
you,
'Cause
life
clearly
partner.
we weren't paying attention.
What was the advice that you would give to single women or women who are dating? So
But
that's
yeah. So you're next.
oh. I would say that you have to be very open and do the work. Not just, you have to do the work on yourself. And okay, this is what I'm. This is what I'm.
My answer. Stay out my answer.
Stay out my ass.
Stay out my answer.
Because you know what to say. You know it.
You in my answer. Go ahead.
But I think the really raw, honest thing I have to say is you have to be realistic about what you want in a man. I'm talking about for my women. You have to be realistic about the man that you want. You cannot say you want a certain caliber of man and you're not presenting yourself in that manner, whether it's you're overweight, you not eating right, you don't got your bills together, you ain't taking care of your kids. You have to understand, like, you can get the man you want, lose 10 pounds, go to the gym, eat right, make sure you're working on yourself. You have to work on yourself because your shit stink too. So you can't expect that your shit don't stink.
This me, want me.
Yeah, like
that's the thing.
it can't just be I'm it. Like I give bomb head and I make good money.
And
And
bitches want to bring pussy to the table and then
that ain't it. He ain't gonna marry you for just that.
Walls will wear out.
you know how many niggas got $40 for some pussy?
Exactly. He not gonna marry you for just that. And my thing is, and Britt said something the other day. We were talking about women, and she was like, it's crazy because women cannot be a man's piece if they don't even know what piece is themselves.
I be fucking spit.
And that made me realize is you have to do the work. Do you even know what piece is yourself? So I gotta be at peace with me first before I can even be a man's piece.
Hey,
So
talk about it.
I can't.
Are you patting yourself on the back?
So I think the
I'm dead. I'm fucking dead.
at the end of the day, I think the biggest advice is please understand what you want from men before you actually require it, because you baby girl. You can't be out here sloppy, can't cook, can't do this, can't do that,
But want a
and
chef.
you want a motherfucking creme de la creme chef. But because you not gonna get him.
I'm ready for my goal. I'm ready to eat
You
tropical
not going. You not going to get him. So understand what you want and do the work, and really understand that your shit does stink, and you have to do the work, sis. That's it.
What's your advice for the dating women of today?
I'm going to say that in this dating world, you have to be confident in yourself. Don't look to a man for, that self-worth, that self-confidence, that any and everything. Because at the end of the day, if he takes that away, what do you have? You're lost. You've lost yourself in this man because you, as Jazzy said, you poured into this man and now your cup is empty. So,
TD Jakes.
so in looking for love yourself first.
Yep.
Because if that love is taken away, you still have your own self-worth, your own self-love.
That's on the other side of divorce.
Girl, because I lost myself. I completely lost myself in my marriage. And when it was gone,
Yeah.
it was a downhill spiral. That was probably the worst phase of depression I've ever been through. So that's why I say love yourself first, because I honestly didn't.
But you sound healed.
Oh, baby. Thank you, Lord Jesus. It took me a while to get there, but I am healed. And I don't want anyone to go through what I went through and losing yourself and feeling so low that, Woo, child. Okay.
So, Britt, what advice would you give to the single or dating woman?
Definitely focus on yourself. So, like, everybody hated Kevin Samuels, right?
His approach was a little
His
off.
approach was
terrible,
was
but
off.
his words.
But
his words.
Kevin Samuels was basically like, bitch, you can't be out here with 4-5 kids making $35,000 a year and asking for a high value man.
I get that.
You know.
Yeah.
I get that.
So it's
Understand the man that you want.
like, be your best self. Stop focusing and trying to get a man. And you know, I had a conversation earlier today, and I'm like, niggas is easy. Getting a nigga is the easiest thing you can do. These niggas is easy. But I'm told that I'm speaking from my own vantage point. You're speaking from a woman who may look a certain way, got a certain body or whatever, and men throw themselves in a certain way. And I'm trying to understand that every woman doesn't have the same experience that I have, right? But at the
I can
end of the
speak to
day,
that because it is very easy.
But one thing,
But do I want him is the question.
I honestly
Don't
don't
nobody
think,
want my ass.
I honestly don't think it is a. This bitch has been on more dates in the past 24 months. than I
One
have.
date and it's over.
So then you have to figure out and understand what type of man do you want,
What
and
are
then
you
what do
looking
you
for?
what are you looking for,
That's
and
what
what do
I
you
said.
need to change?
And what
That's
type of
what I
beta you throwing out?
That part too. That's a lot. I don't think that it's a physical thing. I think it's a confidence thing. I think if you feel good about yourself and you have yourself in the best, financial place, you have your space, your house, your room, the clothes you buy, the people you surround yourself with, your extracurricular activities, your credit, and all of that stuff. Focus on yourself to be the best woman you can be for you before you even think about attracting somebody else. Bitch, what is your best meal? You ain't gotta be a cook. You feel me? But try to do something.
More than
Keep
oodles
house.
and noodles.
Bitch, when he come over, what kind of home is he coming into? Does your
Right.
house smell good? Did you sweep today? Like, there's
How do
certain
you
things-
or do you smell good?
do you
How about
smell-
that?
When is the last time you had a physical? When's the last time you done pulled your, like, there are just so
What's
many
your
other
pH
things
balance?
that you need to focus on for yourself. Have you read a book lately? Where's your mental health lie? If you are checking all of those boxes, all right, then start dating. But that also goes for men too a little bit, and this ain't advice for men.
But we're talking.
But if
yes.
you are your best self, then the dating pool won't be as bad as it is, and we won't have to be
still gonna be
locked
bad.
in bullshit
Still
situations.
look at
Or,
Still look at it.
but also accountability. Like
Yes.
Jazz says, if you're not dealing with a trash nigga who cheating, if you're not dealing with a trash female who's cheating, or dealing with 4 or 5 niggas, or getting money out of niggas, then you have more accountability amongst each other, and people are dating based on real morals, and the dating pool won't be as bad as it is. So yeah, I think that's it.
Amen.
Trash
clap.
in, trash out.
Trash
the trash clap.
Don't worry about yourself.
So we can go deeper, but we're gonna wrap out for the rest of the day.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. So what
You sure?
I'm sure. I had to think about it for a second, but I'm sure. So last and final thoughts. What you got, Janice?
As a married woman.
As a married, it's a difference. It's
It
a difference
is
with being
definitely a
It's
difference.
a difference with
It
just
is.
being married and being happily married. Cause I done
I don't know many
seen.
happily married women. I don't.
I know a lot of married people, but I know a
They
handful
I
of
have happily married women in my circle. I do have happily married
I have a
women
half
in
and
my
half.
circle.
Half and half.
What I had to realize, and this came from my therapist, because she was like, okay, you want marriage, but what does marriage look like? Who in your circle is married? One. Until I met his side, one.
Do you aspire for marriage?
I do. And that's why my therapist asked me that question, is like, what does marriage look like?
does it
Have you
look
had examples of a marriage?
Did you always desire marriage?
I did.
You did.
I did.
Did
I
you
mean, she
court?
had her mother. I did.
Her mother and
I
grandmother were married for. She had a foundation. She had an example of what it looked like. When you don't have an example,
I don't think I've ever desired it in the capacity of what I understand marriage to be today.
but that's
I
because
think it
of
was
your
just like
childhood.
a ring, and But now it's like if I get married, it needs to be a friendship. Like I want to. Like I don't want to have to tell my man everything. I don't think that's realistic that you tell you. But there's honesty, and then there's honesty within your relationship. But I don't want to have to bear everything. Everything ain't for you. You feel me?
But everything's not for your man.
but-
The way I talk to you guys,
Yeah.
is not the way you need
Or
to talk
no,
to your man.
tell me
We're
if
not
I'm
going
wrong.
to talk about. We're not going to talk the same way. Like we
Right.
have different
Okay.
type of conversations. But at the end of the day, my husband wants to know everything about me. He wants to, because, and I asked him, I said, dang, why do you want to know so much? He said, because I love you and I want to know everything about you. What makes you tick? What makes you you?
Oh, that's a husband.
That's
You
a
know what?
husband.
My entanglement.
Not seven.
He does that.
Six.
He says, you know, my
He-
mask is off with you.
Yeah.
And he's like,
He says
"This-
his mask is
his
off.
mask is off with me. That's
Yeah.
why, like, even the honesty that y'all know that he's giving me, it's like, bitch, what? But his mask is off, and in
No,
the,
but I respect his honesty because I think the biggest thing that my person said was, I want to be your friend. And I'm like, I got friends.
nah,
And I had to, I was stank. I was real stank.
And then you
I was
probably
real
made that
stank.
same face too.
I did. And I did. But then I had to realize, no, he's right. Like, we need to be friends
Yeah.
above everything
The
else.
other day, it was Michael Ealy and his wife's 10-year anniversary, right? So I go on her page and I see her post, and the last post was like a little TikTok, and they were like, it was a married couple, and they're like, I can't believe we still like each other. They're like, I know, right? Like you're the only person I want to hang out with. Like, yeah, like I still want to see you naked. What the fuck? After all these years, and it's like, I know what that feels like. After all these years, you naked still excites me. Sex with you still excites me. Us sitting just talking and being friends.
Just
like,
being
we
together.
I can't wait to
ain't
get to
gotta
that
be
part. Hercules.
romantic. It ain't gotta be romantic. We gotta be all into each other, but we can laugh and joke and talk
Right.
about some shit that happened when you was 12 and some shit that happened when I was 25. And
That's
it ain't no-
intimacy.
That's intimacy.
I'm not
Yes.
jealous of the bitch
Intimacy.
you dated and that shit was funny. It was a bad blind date. Like, that's the shit that my marriage must feel like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't always feel like rubbing and touching and hugging and all that shit. But you always my dog, and you the first person I want to tell anything to.
Facts. Whether it's good, bad, or ugly, he is the first person
That's
I want
why
to
I'm still
tell.
entangled, y'all.
That's what.
That's why I'm entangled.
Well, that's
y'all.
why I'm in my relationship.
Entangled, y'all.
Oh, you got to say you capped it. You capped it
rounded it to
at
10.
you capped it at 10. You capped it at 10. Okay, I know we took that. I said we was wrapping up. So, any final thoughts?
Fuck niggas get money. Say no.
Agreed.
No. Definitely in this dating world right now, it's biscuits. I don't know.
What's the biscuit?
Biscuit. It's hard
It's
as hell.
dry.
It's hard and it's dry.
It's a Popeye's biscuit.
It's a Popeye's
Popeye's biscuit.
biscuit, and I need some water. But I'm not giving up on it just yet. I'm not necessarily looking for love at this moment.
You know, the moment you give up, that's probably when you're going to find your person.
Probably, but
Because
let me get up.
when
Let
I
me give it
tell
up.
you, it was really, really ghetto. And the moment I was like, you know what, I'm done.
But I didn't know. I
Boom.
got off the dating apps. I'm not searching. I'm not looking. Not boom. So if it happens, it happens. And actually, me and Britt had a conversation right after I got divorced. She's like, you need to wait till you're 40. And I was like, why I gotta wait so long? I don't want to wait that long. So maybe I just need to wait until I'm 40.
Far from
But
it.
I'm saying is that. I mean, still 3 years is a long time.
3 years is a long time. Then why'd you say
no.
40?
She said 40.
Because we on camera.
Yeah.
I feel like that Court needs to focus on herself.
I agree
I
with
feel
that.
like that Court has dealt with
Absolutely.
a lot of trauma, and she tried to fill her life with love in the places that she,
Absolutely.
had filled with a lot of trauma, and that she ignored herself, and that she has evolved to be a very hurt person. And I know because I'm a hurt person, and I feel like that companionship makes her deflect, and I need her to focus on herself to be the best her she can be.
I 100% agree, but I do not feel like it will take 3 years. I feel
And-
like if she starts working on herself,
Now,
It ain't gonna take-
You can't put a
I've
time
been
on it.
working on myself,
it's
y'all.
just a projected
Yeah.
thing.
I've
At the
been
time,
working
you're
on
not-
myself.
was just
It may
a
take
projected
longer,
thing,
it may
like,
not.
let's just-
Exactly.
Let's just give it some space.
Yeah.
Whereas
I
Court
get
was
it.
like,
I was
the
ready.
ink barely dry on this divorce. And
She
then
was like,
on
hot
the
girl.
date.
She
And
was.
I was like, wait,
I did.
I was like, slow down.
December, my divorce papers signed. January, I was on the apps like,
was like, slow down. Wait a minute.
You gotta heal. You gotta process.
Hot girl
Yeah.
summer.
I
did.
was the only reason I
You
said
did.
I'm not
You
saying
did.
she gotta wait till 40,
did.
but if you just stop everything just to focus on herself, I feel like
Amen.
that's what she needed.
I 100% agree
I
with
agree.
her.
I didn't agree then.
But
I agree now.
Yeah,
I
because
agree
sometimes
now.
you don't listen. But then it's times you listen.
Thanks.
And I 100% agree with her. I think that if you do focus on yourself and feel like, okay, well, what is it that, let me pull back and let me realize what's going on. Because it can't be all niggas. Niggas is some
Yeah,
niggas is
you
trash.
right, you
But
right.
it ain't all niggas. So I do have to figure out what's going on with me.
Yeah.
So I do agree.
And if you continue to date in the wrong mind state, you'll get the wrong ideology.
you
of
putting
these
out the
men.
energy you put out is what you're going to get
and
in.
you will damage them.
Right.
We do damage men. We do fuck over very good men. We do think that
Sorry,
we want
but we do.
this and that, and it's like the nice guys come up to us and it's like, oh, he's not tall, dark, and handsome. He's not this, and that.
And you
it's like
disregard him.
your future, your everything lies in that man, but because he's not packaged up right, you didn't damage him for the next one, and it's a perpetual cycle.
That's a fact, because I almost damaged my situation. I really did. I really did. And I had to reevaluate myself. So, final thoughts.
We did. This was it.
I'm sorry.
This was it.
Because y'all got me trapped in here.
Yeah, we done final thoughted it up, sis.
Not final thoughted it up. All right, so this has been our female version of Talking Black. We will be back with our male castmates in a few days.
They
And
be
you will
out, they coming back, I guess.
They're coming back, and yes, we'll be posting that right after this episode. So y'all stay tuned, and y'all can definitely check us out on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're everywhere. Check us out. We're out.
Peace out.
Talking Black Podcast.
Freedom. Freedom over fame. Freedom over cycle stays the same.
Talking Black Podcast.